Good evening and welcome to Girlfriend Minute. I am Shar.
And I'm Pascal.
How are you this early morning, actually? Not evening, it's
I'm,
early morning.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good today. Yeah,
Happy
I got a
Friday.
lot. Happy Friday and Saturday morning.
Oh, that's true. I'm sorry. See,
Yeah, that's okay. Happy Friday and Saturday morning. Yeah, so no, had a great day. How about you?
Friday's always a good day. I think I've said that. I
Yes.
hold true to that. This week was kind of busy at work, and
Yeah, coming into the weekend is always a great time. So,
yeah, it's always a great time. And then you have all the stats that come down, and it gets a little crazy at times. But yeah, so it was good. It's over with, and I get one day of errands and stuff to handle, and then a day to, clean and relax.
yes, I know that.
Right. Right. So
Although I don't
yeah.
do it much at home, I just do it here. So I think I'm
Yeah.
cleaning and sitting like all day long. So,
Well, I haven't gotten Christmas down yet. My trees are still up, so all the containers are out, and I have to sort through, and I want to get rid of some stuff and replace some containers. And if you can see in my daughter's closet, I cleaned out the stuff at the top, except two of her three motorcycle helmets. I have to get a separate container for those. But the
okay.
one is in another container with like her yearbooks and some other things she saved over the years. So I was cleaning out the closet earlier this week. So
Yeah.
yeah, just kind of puttering and getting some things done. But tomorrow is undeck the halls.
Undeck the halls. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I was just saying to one of my employees here today, I was like, okay, tomorrow Christmas comes down.
Yeah, yeah, I'll miss the trees. I miss the lighting, but it is
Yeah.
time to get the ornaments down. So that is what I am doing this weekend. But
Yeah.
that's about
We got
it.
to get ready for Valentine's Day around here too. So,
Well, at work in our back little area, we took all the Christmas stuff down, and they were like, "Oh, well, this is depressing. It's just blah."
and
So
now
we
all the
are
hearts go up.
all the hearts are up. Yes, they went up rather quickly because we were like, oh, this is, yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Mm, I
I ha-
agree.
I have them hanging in my cubicle down the fake walls and across the back wall, and yeah.
Yeah, it does get boring when there's nothing for you to look at sometimes.
Well, there's no color, added color. It's
Yeah,
just, yeah. So
just blah.
and
Yeah.
blah. So yeah. So we're ready at work for love.
Yes. Yeah.
Yay.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means.
Wait, who said that? Wait a minute. So it's so funny. Yesterday I was looking through my YouTube and for some reason Princess Diana came up
Aw, yeah.
and when they had been engaged, um, they had asked them the question, "Are you in love?" They asked her first, and she said, "Yes, of course." And then they asked him, and he goes, "Yeah, whatever love is." Like
Oh
he,
yeah.
what an asshole.
I know. He just I don't
Yeah,
I wouldn't want
he didn't deserve it at all.
I
So
I
he
I wouldn't
chose
want
for
to
the rat-faced lady. So
be in the royal family. It
never.
just
No, thank
no.
you.
I'm good.
Yeah, too much drama.
It's drama, and they lived off the money of their people, and I just so they live in this castle and they drive these fancy old cars, and it's like, and what do you get?
Yeah, no kidding. No
Yeah,
kidding.
so
Yeah,
but yeah,
so yeah, well, it's okay. We're ready for love. So maybe
I
next month
know.
we'll have to talk about love again.
I have patients and they come in, they're like, "Oh, you're ready for Valentine's Day." I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Bum, bum, bum.
Yay.
Yeah, whatever you say.
Whatever you say.
Although, you know what? I'm going to make it really, really good in here, and I'm going to probably pink out my tahini sauce so that
Oh,
it's pink
really?
for that
Pink?
day. Yes, for
Yeah.
that day, or red,
There
whichever.
you go.
And then I have, believe it or not, I have a heart falafel maker. So I'm going to bring it. I do. And yeah, it's not mine. I just found it here. I
That's
was like,
awesome.
what a great time to make
Right.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Looking forward to those stupid things, I guess, makes me happy.
It's the little things. We were excited that your new camera came right up tonight, so or
Oh, I
this morning.
know.
So I mean, we were both cheering. So
Oh my gosh, I was waiting and I was like, what?
yep,
Yeah, kudos to this camera. It's called the Nexigo. It's a
yeah.
Nexigo camera and it actually has like a privacy window that you tape on to the camera part so that when you're not on the camera, you can close it just in case somebody's peeping at you
Oh,
while you're on the
yeah.
computer. Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to my son once when he was in middle school. It was summertime and he was, they stay up late, so they sleep in. And
Or
I was at work and they were in the house locked in, and he was eating whatever cereal. And someone said, "How do you like your whatever cereal?" And he was just like, "Yeah."
oh my gosh.
He called me at my desk. He's like, "Mom."
My
Yeah,
God.
yeah, it
How
happens.
freaky is that?
He was not amused.
No,
No.
absolutely not. I would not
Yeah.
be either. That's why I
No.
like that little privacy window. But, kudos to Nexigo. Spot on. A very
Yeah.
clear Nexigo. You did it.
My Apple doesn't have that. I guess I could just get a
Yeah.
piece of electrical tape and go pink.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, this actually it came with it. So it came with two. So I decided to go ahead and put one on my laptop too.
Oh,
So
there you
yeah,
go. Yeah.
one on
But
there and
this
one on my laptop.
this thing is in a room by itself and is shut down most of the time, except when we're doing this. So
Yeah, unless there's ghosts around your room, that's about
yeah.
it. That's all they're gonna
Well,
see.
who
The air,
knows?
the air.
Who knows?
I have a Pepsi ghost. I have a Pepsi ghost.
What's a Pepsi ghost?
So he throws ice every once in a while. He spits out ice out of the
He
machine.
spits out ice out of the
Yes.
machine.
So
Yeah,
yes,
Pepsi ghost. That's funny.
my Pepsi ghost. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
So
my gosh.
what's our
Yeah.
topic today?
So I posted a question of what do you hate about your body? And I know that hate is a strong word. It's nothing to focus on. It could be what you would like to tweak or work on or improve or however you want to word it. But some
Yeah.
people do hate certain things about their body. So I posted that question and I had a huge response.
Wow.
A crazy huge response that
How
I have
many?
not even looked at the majority of them. I haven't even looked at even a quarter of them. There's just no way.
Oh wow.
Over 2,000 responses.
Wow.
So yeah, probably pushing 2,700. I'm still
Wow.
getting answers, but today I had about, 200 answers, I'm guessing. Because I read some, but then
No,
it
but
was back
that's
up to
amazing.
146. It is amazing. So
It's
yeah, so
amazing.
it
That means
really,
they love us.
well,
They
it
love
hit
us.
it hit a nerve. The
It
question
did.
hit a
Yeah.
nerve. It hit a nerve.
Yeah.
So, and I was wondering. So, and both men and women answered.
Oh, good.
And
Good.
you can probably guess what the majority of men said.
Yeah. Yeah.
That their penis was too long. I was
Of
like,
course. Of course.
define long, dude.
Yeah.
But I didn't ask. I didn't even.
No.
We're not
Yeah.
going to talk about that because that's
Too
just,
long or too short?
yeah, there was that too. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I just was like, we're not even going to go there, dude. So sorry.
No.
But one of the common answers, which is kind of depressing, several people said everything.
Everything.
They hated everything about their body.
And nothing specific that they wrote?
No, they
Just
literally just wrote
everything.
everything. Everything.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
a little bit sad.
Yeah. I was just like,
Yeah.
wow. I mean, there's nothing really I truly hate about myself. There are some things I wouldn't mind tweaking. I'm working on it. I've been working out 2 days this week for the first week ever in Danny's gym in her garage. And
Okay.
she puts on these Beachbody programs. Well, we're doing the bar blend right now, which is kind of a Pilates yoga type thing,
Okay.
because I like Pilates so much. So I texted her today, "You're trying to kill me." She said no, and the name of the instructor is trying to kill you. I said, "Well, you're participating in it."
Yeah, you put it on TV. I didn't.
We'll see how I feel tomorrow.
Yeah.
I went
No, it's
tonight after
okay.
work.
It's good to move around. It's sitting is the worst thing that I believe that anyone could ever do. Um,
Well, Yeah, it is.
Yeah, if you have to sit, I mean, that's another story, but it's you should get up and move around, get that blood flowing, move that body a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, like you said, I don't dislike myself. I like myself, but I can tweak a little things about my body. I never used to be as thick as I am now. And I don't use the word big because I'm voluptuous, and that's how it is.
You
And I
you
love it.
are. You
Yes,
are.
and I love it. However, I could, lose a little bit of weight. I want to go back to kind of where I used to be. Um, and I'm not trying to do it because I want to be thin or I want to fit in. I don't want to fit in. I just want to do it because I want a healthy me. I want a
Yeah.
healthy myself.
You have to do it for the right reasons, and it's also very overwhelming. So I always tell people who are like, "How do you?" And I'm like, "Well, it's work, first of all." Now, I'm a small person to begin with, so I
Yeah.
have that on my side from the get-go. And I got up to 155 pounds on my frame, which my doctor said to me one day after having kids, please lose 20 pounds. So I was always in high school 96 pounds no matter what I ate. I could
I
eat
know.
chocolate all day and not on that scale, just not an ounce, just never budged. It didn't matter. And I did. I ate like crap in school because I could. I was a twig. It didn't
Yeah.
matter. Once I had the kids, that totally changed.
Yeah.
And he told me to take off 20. I took off 35. And I felt better, but then I got lazy and I went back up to 144. Now I'm down to like 122. And that seems to be a good spot for me. I have maintained it off for probably a year and a half, getting close to 2 years.
Very good.
And I'm back down to a size 2. In high school, I was a size 1. So I feel better. I like my frame is small, so I should be on the smaller side. And I
Right. Right.
definitely feel better. I definitely feel better than I did, as I've said a million times, than I did in my 20s when I had my kids. But you got to start with one thing. You can't look at and be like, I got to change everything all at once. It's too
Yeah, not
much.
possible. That's
It's
very
too much.
overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming. So pick one thing you're going to change. And when I started doing and I drink a protein shake every day. I've been doing that for over 10 years.
Yeah.
That's people got to have their coffee and stuff. I have to make that protein shake. I don't drink coffee and I add supplements to it. And that's my breakfast and it holds me to lunch. And that's without that, when I run out, when shipping is behind, because it just
Mhm.
automatically comes to my door every month, I about have a coronary.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my world is not right without that shake and my
Right. Well,
supplements in the morning.
because
Yeah.
your body got used to it and that's something that your body likes.
Yeah.
And so it works for you. I've always been a big boned person. I have never been that little petite person ever. Never, ever, ever. Even when I was in high school and stuff like that. Although I didn't have all the love handles and stuff like that I have now, or the stomach. I used to actually have a flat stomach, um, but I was thick. But I wasn't thick like out of shape thick. It was very, I was strong at the
Yeah.
time, and I'm not going to say that I want to get back to that position, but I would like to get back to a certain position where I am comfortable with myself, like where I was maybe about 7 years ago. I'd like to get back there, but slowly I'm trying to do it here. What works for me is that as soon as I get in here, I have my breakfast, which usually is about like 2 eggs or so. And then I eat them like with no bread, nothing like that. And then I'll go maybe about 2 hours later and have like, those English cucumbers. I'll probably
I
have like
do.
a half of those, half of that. And then I'll eat a nice meal around 3 o'clock. And then after that, in the evening time, I'll have like a little snack, something fruity or yogurty or something like that. And then that's it. And I
Yeah.
usually stop around 6 o'clock and I'm done. Six,
Yeah.
7 o'clock. The rest of it is tea or water. And I drink a lot of water, man. I do drink a lot of water, so that's good.
Yeah.
But that works for me. So,
Yeah.
and within a couple of months, the weight starts going down by itself.
Yeah.
Plus the moving around here a lot also helps. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Well, and that's your normal. I used to walk every night. I used to walk the dogs every night. And then when Roscoe got sick, I stopped walking, even though his oncologists were like, you can keep walking him. I didn't want to exert him because he was being sedated every day for radiation. And so I stopped walking. I've only walked a few times since then. It was hard to try and walk without him. And I
sure.
really need to get back into it. So I'm trying to go to her house twice a week instead
Very
of just
good.
doing Pilates once a week. And then I need to the other days walk the dogs.
Yeah,
I, I
that's
you know
good.
I used to walk 2 to 4 miles a day depending on the day and the time of day and just what was going on. A lot of the times it was 2 miles. I have different routes for different miles. I could go 2, 3, 4, or 5. Five
Oh,
is
okay.
all the way from my house to Walsingham and back again. So I've
Yeah.
done that a few times. So I need to get back into it, and I keep saying that, but I haven't done it yet. So
Yeah.
I will. And I drink a lot of water, and I drink my protein shake in the morning. And when I have like my supplements in the morning, it's with my protein shake. It has a little bit of almond milk in it. And then at night I take some nighttime supplements, and that's almond milk
Yeah.
because I have to have something more than water or I feel nauseous.
Right.
Supplements make, yeah, it's too strong. So yeah, so I mean that's pretty much it. I eat lean and green. So,
Yep.
you
And that's
know,
usually what I try to do. I'm not going to say I'm 100% perfect with that.
oh, I'm not
You're a
either.
lot,
No.
yeah, but you are a little more active as far as doing things, like different things. Like me,
Yeah,
I'm doing the same things over and over and over again. I think my body gets used to it
it
after a
is.
while. Yeah.
It does. That's your
So,
normal.
yes,
People are like, I'm
correct.
on my feet all day. I don't know what. Well, that's your normal. You have to change your metabolism up
Yeah.
to adjust it. So yeah, and it's hard because you're essentially tied to your business.
Yeah, and I am exactly. It's very difficult.
It's very
But,
difficult for you.
what can I do? I can just eat right. That's the best thing that I can do. So, and thank God, readily available are my greens, and I have lean meats already in here too. So,
Yeah.
um, I don't have to think too much about
Yeah.
what I want to eat. I could just grab and do it.
Yeah.
Um, but like you said, it's a lot of work, and the people have to put their mind to it when they're doing it.
Mhm.
But not to extend your goal over too many months. Like
No.
just take it a couple weeks at a time, or take it a month at a time.
Yeah. Like I
Yeah.
said, pick one thing, change it for the better.
Yes.
Do that for a month, pick another thing. It
Yes.
it just worked better for me. It became, you start reading all this information, this person does this, and it's just, but we're going to have a friend on next week, and we're going to talk about all that type of
Yes.
thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but the
Um,
everything kind of made
it's,
me sad.
yeah,
Yeah.
it did. Well, wait till you hear the one.
Okay.
Not this one. I don't like the shape of my head.
Okay.
I
I
don't
don't
really know.
I mean,
I don't.
you can't really do anything about it, I don't think, at this
No.
point in time.
Change
Yeah.
the hairstyle, grow it
Yeah.
out, shorten it, fluff it, something. I don't know if you're trying to disguise the shape of it or something. I don't know. That was all they wrote. Again, if there's no specifics, some people gave specifics of things, but there was a lot of just little one-line comments. So, um, my massive Roman nose.
Ah, okay. Yes. It's okay. I agree with that one because we have a massive Arabic nose, so I totally understand what that means. Um, although mine is not huge, but it's bigger than your normal average woman, I guess you can say. Um, but is that a woman?
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say. I was gonna say if you're a woman, you can always, and if you put makeup on, you can always slim your nose with makeup if
Yeah.
that's your thing, without actually having to go under the knife to do
Yeah.
anything. But if you're keen on going under the knife and changing it up, then go for it. It's totally up to you and your person. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Some people wrote my tummy, stomach, and my acne. That was pretty common too.
Yes.
That's frustrating when you're older. So I recommend for the acne, get an esthetician, go once every 4 to 6 weeks. It will do wonders and your skin will never be better.
Yes. And drink plenty of water.
Yep. And for the tummy, well, that's exercise and diet. So that depends on where you're at in that department. I have a little tummy too. I had 2 kids and I'm just not quite there yet. So,
Yeah.
stretch marks, that was another common answer. I can relate to that.
Same. Same.
Yeah.
I have a lot of them.
Women say it's their badge or their, pregnancy badge.
Yeah.
Um, well, my kids are my badges. I would prefer these go away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, another nose and the melasma. Well, now that I can relate to, I have melasma, and that's heat triggers it and hormones. So that's not a fun one. I live in the sunshine state, so
Yeah, well, I was gonna say you live in the heat for
yeah,
Christ's
I live in
sakes.
the heat. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's why I get facials every 4 weeks. It really
Yeah.
helps to control it. It's big cell turnover, and so if it bothers you and makes you self-conscious, you need to invest as you do in your health and other areas. This too is a health
Absolutely. It's an
thing.
investment on your
So
skin.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you don't have to wear concealer. Concealer really doesn't stop it. Even just getting
No.
overheated brings it out. It's not even just that you're exposing yourself to the sun. I was out riding the jet skis. I use Face Reality sunblock, which I get from my esthetician. And it's a lot cheaper than that other brand my dermatologist wanted me to use. That was $50 a little bottle. And this is 20 a little bottle. And I
Yeah.
tell you what, my melasma never got darker. And I was out in the sun 6 hours a day on those skis with the water, salt water reflecting up and stuff. So
Oh, well, there you
um,
go.
weekends and stuff, I don't wear. I normally wear a BB cream. I don't even wear that on weekends. I just use my oil on my face with my essential oils mixed in, and that's it. So there
Yeah.
are things and natural things you can do to control it. It doesn't have to be medication or anything. There is medication to control it or get it under control, but you can only take it for 30 days and then that's it. You can't have it again.
Well, yeah, and then the best thing to do is what you're doing because you're living proof. So,
Well, when it first came out, I mean, it looked like someone took dark rouge on my cheeks.
yeah.
And it freaked me out because it's like all of a sudden one day it was there. And my sister had a kidney disease, which is what she passed from.
Hmm.
And that caused her skin on her face to darken, which is part of that IgA nephropathy. And I went running to the dermatologist in my building. She's like, no, no, you're fine. This is melasma. You do not have what your sister had. And
Yeah.
she ordered me creams. Well, I'm sure that can lead to cancer if you use it long term. Fade creams. They're
Sure.
chemicals. You're bleaching your skin. I didn't
Yes.
care for that. I didn't use them but a couple of months. And I'm like, yeah, this doesn't make me feel good. So I had to look for other alternatives.
Yeah. I mean, you should look for other alternatives before jump to concoctions that they have made in the lab.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of those either. I try to stay away from those kinds of things as much as I can. I do have kidney disease, so it's kind of hard. I do have to take medication for that.
Yeah.
But I do what I can.
Yeah.
I bought all these things for my face, and you gave me an idea, so I think I'm gonna see if I can try to find an esthetician, that's really good over here. Because I have it right here. I don't know if you see it. It's right next to my eye.
I do see
I
it.
know
Yeah.
you say, yeah,
Yeah.
and it doesn't really bother me, but I would like to make it go
I
away.
mean, I had it here, I had it here, I had it here, and I
Oh,
have it
wow.
here.
All over.
In patches. And
Yeah.
also another good thing to use, and I do use, and I don't use it regularly, retinol.
Hmm. Retinol. Yes, I started using that
And
actually.
a good retinol.
Yes.
So I get it from the Dermastore. I also get it from my esthetician. I really don't like that one. It's a cream, so I think I'm going to go back to the one at the Derm Store. I noticed bigger changes with it overall versus the one she has. Unless she has a different one, I'm going to talk to her about it tomorrow when I see her.
Okay,
Um,
good.
it's always been under my arms, someone wrote. It's
Oh, yes, the
and my
flapjack.
smile. With that being said, she's had a stroke, so her smile's off, and that really bothers her.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, she's waiting for it to come back fully, and her left hand not working properly anymore because of the stroke and then the weight gain. So, Those were some answers.
Yeah, that's a hard one. She has medical issues, so that one is a difficult one.
It's a difference, yeah. And you
Different
see,
scenario, different situation.
she knows what she looked like before, and now this was out of her control, and here you are. So
Absolutely, yeah.
someone wrote, I have a great profile, but I look like a smashed potato from the front, so when they talk to people, they intentionally stand a little angled. So they're not looking
Oh,
directly at the person. So you see their
okay.
smashed potato face. They stand at an
Okay.
angle. So that one was a little more descriptive.
Yeah, it was a little more descriptive. I
Yeah.
mean, they kind of adjusted to the smashed potato face, I guess. I don't know. I can't
I
picture
don't
it
know
to
what
be
that
honest.
is.
I
I
don't know
don't
what
know
that
what that
means.
is. Yeah.
But
But that
yeah,
how awful to feel that way about yourself that you intentionally stand at an angle,
it is. Yeah, I know.
you
But
know.
you have to adjust, I guess, if you're not happy. I mean, sometimes me too, like because I have, a tummy and stuff, I will stand a certain way just so that if I'm taking a picture or something that it doesn't focus on my belly.
So when you're doing that, a little trick is straight on.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's at an angle or the side.
No,
No,
it's not.
no, it's
Yeah.
not. It's
Yes,
straight on.
I
Look, it's
agree.
straight on. So all the women down their side, their hand on their hip and putting their feet. You're just,
Yeah,
anything that you don't want people to see, you're showing them.
correct. Yes.
A guy wrote, my mustache doesn't fully connect with the rest of my beard. He has gaps.
Okay. I've
And he
heard
doesn't.
about that before. Yes.
So is that, I guess, something in the follicles
It
or
is. It's got to be something in the follicles that in the certain areas that he has on his face, they don't actually completely make a connection.
a connection?
So, yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
someone responded to that, I would use a Sharpie.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, color it in every day
Color it
or
in all
whatever.
the time. Yes. Yeah.
Someone wrote my chronically chapped lips, which I found interesting because when I was pregnant, I had chronically chapped lips.
Did you?
I did.
And what did you do for them?
I used that Carmax.
Yes.
Carmax. What do you call it? Carmax. What's
CarMax.
Carmax? That's a car dealership.
Oh,
Carmax.
I have that. What are you talking about? Oh, please. I
Which
have
I
that.
moved on from there. I now use a lip balm from a girl called, there it is,
CarMax.
Pretty Farm Girl,
Pretty farm.
where she has a farm here in Florida, in Mayaca, Florida, and she makes all of her products from her goats and everything, her lavender she grows and all that. And I don't have chronic chapped lips anymore, but because I would put it on every night to help get it under control and stuff, and it did help, it just took a while. I continue to do that now as part of my nightly routine.
Yeah. Well, it's always good. So what I do is I have this lipstick. We have Ulta up here. I don't know. You guys have Ulta down there
We
too?
have Ulta, yeah.
Okay, so I bought it from Ulta, and what it is, it's a lipstick that has like a scrub, like it's
Mm-hmm.
a scrubber. And what I do is if I'm getting chapped lips or something as my routine, I would rub it on my lips and then continue, and that kind of refreshed my lips and took
If
away some of
it's
that
a
dryness.
scrubber, you're exfoliating.
Exfoliating, yes. And then
Yeah.
afterward, so I have Albolene at home,
Mm-hmm.
and I would use
Mm-hmm.
some of that, or it's the same as Vaseline, and I would
Yeah, it
put that
is.
on my lips too as
Yeah.
well. So,
Yeah. So I
yeah.
use the stuff from Pretty Farm Girl. I like it. I have to reorder soon.
Hmm.
I also like her lotion, so I'm going to reorder some of that
Oh,
because
nice.
they're all organic. They're from her farm and they're beautifully packaged. Very organic pack. It's just pretty, simple and
Yeah.
classy and pretty. So yeah, I like all that. So here's the one: losing weight and having extra skin. So this girl wrote this long post and I felt bad for her. Made me sad.
Hmm.
So I'm going to read it.
Okay.
Okay. I hate myself naturally, but after losing some weight, I hate it even more. My best friend bragged about not having any loose skin, but I do. I have it everywhere. She bragged about future corrective surgeries she'd get, and while I'm happy for her, I'll never be able to afford that. While I continue on my weight loss journey, I wonder why the fuck I am doing it. Sometimes I see myself in the mirror and immediately hate everything about myself. In the last year, I've lost a great deal of weight, but only I see how I am without clothes. In clothes that fit, I get compliments and it just feels hollow and wrong. When I was fat, did people ever truly like me? I don't think they did. Throughout my childhood, I was only acknowledged by how visibly appealing I was. As an adult, I went through health scares which made my weight fluctuate wildly. Depression made me gain so much and lose so much and then gain it again. I finally found a way to discipline myself and keep myself in check. And not only do I hate myself more, but I dislike the people who give me compliments now because they seem to be so disingenuous. I am the same person I was when I was obese. I know that's part of the problem for me, but it's part of their problem too. I can't trust them, and it's so hard to love myself. Even I will absolutely keep going because I'll be damned if another doctor blames my depression on my fucking weight one more fucking time. I'm a melted candle. I'm not a person to myself anymore. Sometimes I just cry and wonder why anyone would ever love me. I have so many friends, but I don't have anyone special. I wouldn't dare let them see what's left of me. I'm broken and literally too much skin over bones. I hate everything about myself.
Oh, wow. Wow. I mean, I don't even know what to say to that, but wow. That's a
Yeah.
lot to take in.
I feel so bad for her.
I do too.
She and I responded to her.
Okay.
I could not respond to over 2,000
Well, no,
commenters.
of course not.
I
Yeah.
would still be responding. We would not be here right now.
Right,
So
exactly.
I told her that I was sorry that she basically felt that way. Basically, what I said, it makes me sad to read this. And it did. I was just like, I don't believe that I'm reading. She feels damned if she does and damned if she doesn't. She feels, she's obese to the point she has extra skin everywhere and she loses that. And she doesn't feel proud of the hard work she did to get it off, the weight
Right.
off. We're our worst critics, by the way. I'm my
We
worst
are.
critic, you're your worst critic, we are our worst
Yes.
critics. So she's in her head and she's criticizing herself and she sees nothing good out of all the hard work she did. And I asked her, she has not responded. I just said, I said partly why I asked a question like this is to see what others are dealing with and going through. And you make connections, but I said, have you gone to therapy? If not, please do. It has helped me in the past. Um, a neutral person to vent to and honestly give you tools to cope and deal with feelings.
Well,
I
and
didn't
that's
really know what else to tell her
no, and
because
that's good because okay, so I watch my 600-pound life on TV sometimes, okay? And to see some of those people struggling and what they're going through as far as being obese. Um, I can understand that to a point because I was never that little tiny petite person, and you feel like as though going through your life, nobody's really looking at you, and then if they are looking at you, they're looking at you in disgust because you have a little bit of weight on you or a lot of bit of weight on you, and they feel as though, it's a stereotypical thing where they think that, okay, somebody who's obese or somebody who has a little bit of fat on them is disgusting, doesn't shower, doesn't this, doesn't that, eats like a pig. Those are all stereotypical things that you hear from society because society puts you out there as you have to be this thin person to be involved with everybody else. Okay, so I can understand that. And although I can't understand the skin, I have seen it on TV on those people. I have seen it actually in person. One of my friends, she was a little bit obese and not extremely, but a little bit. And when she did lose the weight, her skin does hang. So she wears a bodysuit, basically. She wears that to kind of tighten up her skin a little bit. But I'm sure like when she's nude, that She
Yeah.
doesn't feel good about herself.
Well, that's what she talked at. Who's ever going to love her?
Yeah,
And then it depends on how much skin.
it is. That's
Was
true.
this lady someone who was one of the bigger women that you see on that show?
Yeah.
And this tells you how critical women are of themselves, and that things that you say to them at any age can stick for life
Oh,
and
absolutely.
cause permanent damage. And this isn't women crying women. This is when you look back at how things used to be.
Yeah,
We've come a long way, but we still have a long way to go,
we
because
do.
that cycle that my mom was in, some of it has come to me.
Yeah.
You know, I've broken, I believe, the most of it. We just don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, and I recognize it, but there are a lot who can't or don't for whatever reason, depending on what they heard their whole life.
Correct.
For me, I can flip that switch and be like, you were nasty, so you were done.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because you've gone through that therapy, and you've recognized, like you said, all of those things. So you don't want that kind of environment to deter you from doing anything in your life. So, and if it causes stress, just be gone. That's it. I don't
I
want you
also
around.
have a little bit of an attitude about it. I
Yeah.
definitely have an opinion about how women can be treated in
Yes.
certain circumstances, situations, whatever. And I have a little bit of an attitude, which makes me able to flip that switch.
Right. Right. And you
That's
have to
that's
have a little
me.
bit of an attitude, though.
That's me. Yeah.
Yeah, but on these shows and stuff like that, they actually, when they are going, and forget the show, okay? I've had, let me see, I had one, two, three people that went through that surgery, and they were doing it to get thin, okay? To be accepted, in quotes, and I put that, accepted. Accepted why? Who has to accept you? And
Well,
who
who's
is
in
out there
charge?
judging? Exactly. And why are we judging anybody? We as women should, stand by each other and help each other out. You should not look at me just because I have a little weight on me and be like, oh, well, you're just ugly and you're fat and you're this and you're that. These are demeaning words. You shouldn't do that. But these people, my cousin is one of them that went through that. I have a friend of mine who is a guy who went through that. They have lots of complications, lots of problems.
It's a brutal surgery. It's
It's
not.
terrible.
It's awful.
But they did get therapy on their
I think
journey.
that's part of the requirement, isn't
It
it?
is part
For
of the
some of that, you
requirement.
have to go to a therapist because it is
It is required.
it's a huge thing.
But here's the thing, though. You go to the therapist, are you saying the truth? Are you telling the
Well,
therapist the
that's
truth?
the thing. That's the thing. You know,
You
how
know,
many people just touch on topics and aren't brutally honest?
exactly.
You definitely have to be brutally honest.
Exactly. And I think she was very brutally honest. I mean, for her to express how she feels and how she looks and give us kind of a scenario, like I can basically visualize it from
Yeah.
everything that she said. Um,
So,
I mean, I can only say, like you, go seek some therapy out.
like,
Uh,
her rationale on it.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's something inside, something
It's
deep down
something
inside.
inside, because
Yeah,
were they even my friends when I was obese? Because now they're giving me
correct.
compliments. Well, they're giving you compliments because you worked really hard to take the weight off.
Right,
Is
but
how
she
I
doesn't
see
see
it. She
that.
doesn't
Yeah,
see
she
it that
doesn't see
way.
it
Not
that
at
way.
all. So,
Yeah,
something's
that's the
very
sad part.
broken inside, and she's not proud of herself. And in the rest of what I wrote, I'm like, and you should be very proud of all the hard work you put in.
Absolutely, she should be very proud. I mean, there's
You,
not too many people that'll go down that road,
no,
you know? She
and
should be
just
very
lose it
proud of herself.
without doing any surgery or anything. That's a huge commitment.
It is. It's a
And
big commitment.
genetics are genetics too.
They are.
So
Absolutely.
you can only tweak. You have to work with what you have, what you're
Yes.
given. So
Yeah.
that one really kind of bothered me, her
Yeah.
response.
Yeah.
I don't know who she is. I don't know where she is. She could be anywhere in the world, and she had a lot to say. So,
Wow. Wow. Well,
yeah.
I mean, all I can say is, seek therapy, try to do something that makes you feel good about the things that you've accomplished, because you have accomplished a lot. I mean,
That's a
going
major
from
thing.
it is going from, first of all, going from yo-yoing up and down, up and down, up and down, and then finally realizing that, okay, I can actually get a hold of this. That's a big thing. There's not too
Yes.
many people that can do that.
No.
No. So
No.
that's kudos to you. That's a big thing. And, as far as the skin and stuff goes, I mean, they make the body suits and stuff. That might make you feel better. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
And someone who truly loves you and wants to be that significant other, it won't matter.
No, it won't matter at all. Absolutely.
And I'm sure that's hard to hear because it's easier said than done, especially in today's society, finding genuine people. I'm sorry, I think it's hard to find some genuine people.
It's tough.
Women are very catty, you
Yes.
know. They're a lot of work.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I can't cope with most of it myself. I just
Mhm.
think, life's too short for this ridiculous stuff you're wasting your time on. And I'm sorry, but the men that are married that hit on the women that are married, no, thank you.
Exactly.
And I mean, legitimately just say, I'm not looking for love. I'm married. I just want to have sex with you. It's like, I just need you not even to breathe.
Yeah, exactly. Don't even walk my way or look my way.
And no, I'm not saying anyone has said that to me. I'm just saying I've known people that it's been said to, and I just think, it's really repulsive and makes you very unattractive.
But they don't see it that way. They think
they
this
think
is so
they're
great.
something special.
Yeah,
that
and
they
it's
should
not.
be offering it to everybody, but that's not what's special. What's special is that you don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone posted the fact that I'm allergic to basically every natural particle.
Oh, yes.
That's all they wrote.
That's hard. That's a hard
Yeah.
one. Can you imagine being allergic to just about everything?
No.
Just like.
Because I have no allergies, so I like to keep it that way.
I have no food allergies. I do have medication allergies, but I have no food allergies, and I thank God for that. And I'm sorry for you. I know it's a lot of work. I know it's a lot of work for you to deal with trying to figure out what you want to eat and stay away from the foods that cause bad reactions.
Yeah.
So just do your best. Do your best.
Yeah. It's. No, I'm very fortunate that I'm slowly decomposing and there's nothing to do about it. So I kind of took it as they were older. Yeah. I took it as they were older.
And their mind is not older.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel you, honey. I feel you.
Right?
I feel you.
My mind's not older either.
No, my mind's not older. My mind is still back in my 30s, I think, and my body is 75.
Yeah. Stop.
Well, right now, my body is 75.
You were hoofing it through New York City with us.
Oh my God,
I was. You were doing those 20,000 steps plus a day. What are you talking about?
Well, that was fun, though.
It was fun. When you're having fun, you don't think about the steps. You just go. And in New York, you got to go with the flow. If everyone crosses the crosswalk, you got to go. You're just, standing there for I don't know what.
You better go. You better follow. I mean, everybody gets old. Everybody gets old. You can't help the aging process as far as number wise goes and the melting part goes. I mean, we're not all gonna look the same once we reach that. But I hope she has or he. Is it a he or she?
I don't know.
Okay, he or she. I hope you have a wonderful life. Just enjoy your life as it goes. Don't put too much stress on yourself about getting old. It's going to happen no matter what. So.
And there were other comments similar. My body's aging, but my brain's not. And, and it's a struggle.
I think we all have that in common.
We all do. I work really hard at trying not to get there sooner than I'd like to.
Well, you know what's funny is I have you guys as my friends, right? And we're all the same age. But then I have these younger ones, and they're like late 20s or early 30s, who I feel like I should be hanging around them and having a good time and going out and doing this, doing that. And then my body's like, no, I don't think so. You need to go home.
Home.
I don't know who you think you are, but you need to take your ass home.
Go to bed.
Yes. And then my mind is like, no, girl, go get it, go. And I'm like, no. So I end up
Funny.
going home and going to bed.
Right. It's probably the wiser of the two choices,
I
just
think so.
anyways, in general
I agree.
anymore.
I agree.
Someone wrote too short, just want to be taller, and then someone asked them how tall are you, and they were said 5'1".
Okay.
So I don't know how old they are. I don't know anything more than that they're 5'1". I will say I am 5'4", and my son thinks it's funny that I am short. I tell
Yeah.
him I am average.
I'm
'Cause I
shrinking.
am.
I'm shrinking.
And he's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. He'll soon be shrinking when he gets old, so he's not going to be all that tall.
Rheumatoid arthritis. I think that is a fear of mine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, when your fingers start to look, yeah.
Yeah. Crippled.
Mhm. Yes. I mean, everyone gets arthritis. It's just like, which kind are you going to be given?
Yeah. Yeah.
And when?
Well, does that run in your family?
No.
No. Okay. Well, most likely, I mean, that's more of a genetic inherited kind of thing as it goes
It
down.
is.
But,
It is.
but
But I'm
nowadays,
the one in the million. I'm the one in
well,
the You got to
I
know
was
who you're
gonna
talking
say,
to.
yeah, I was gonna say once in a while, your immune system kind of goes wacko.
Yeah. My mom was on no medications when she passed.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
except for having bone on bone in one knee.
Mm,
And at her age, she wasn't going to do the surgery.
right. Yeah. Well, sometimes you get to a point where it's like it's not worth it anymore.
Well, she was in her late 70s. She just wasn't going to do it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, someone wrote asymmetrical body.
Okay. Yes.
So I took it as there was something off about their whole body when they looked at it.
Right. So either smaller up top, bigger at the bottom, vice versa, or just bigger in the middle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a hard
That,
one, but sometimes you can fix that with clothes, maybe. Like certain clothes you can wear that'll offset kind of the asymmetrical feel about it. I don't know. I mean, as far as you can't do anything with your bones and you can't really do
no.
anything else. So I don't know. That's it. That's all I got is clothes,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. My posture, someone wrote.
Yes, that's a big one.
Okay, ladies, shoulders back.
Shoulders back. I have a hard time with that too because sometimes I'll be sitting and then I'll be like, okay, where's my Hermé, what do you call that? The Hermé scarf that you're supposed to like put across you and that'll make your shoulders go back.
So one thing I do at work, I sit half the time and I'm up and down the other half. So one thing I do, because I have a computer chair and it swivels and moves and I have rollers, is I wrap my feet around the legs. It makes me sit up.
It makes you sit up. Okay.
So when I'm sitting there typing, my feet are always wrapped. As a matter of fact, when the managers came by, they're like, God, you have such a straight spine. I'm like, yeah, you can't see below the desk.
Yeah.
But, it makes me aware. If my feet aren't wrapped, I sag a little. So I wrap them. Like right now, my feet are wrapped around the legs and I'm straight.
Yeah. Well, if like I can't wrap my feet anywhere, but I have a hard time doing that. So, if you can't wrap your feet around anywhere, I saw a couple of things on YouTube and stuff like that where you can take like a broom handle and then just kind of put your hands wrap your hands underneath it, and it will kind of put your back straight.
Yeah. So. There's also bras and stuff with different supports for posture.
Yeah.
And then someone wrote my boobs. That was a pretty common one. I don't know if they want them bigger or smaller, or I know there were a few that wanted them smaller just because they were so uncomfortable and so naturally large. Yes. So, you can do that if you want, or you can get them bigger if you want. I don't recommend it because eventually you have to take them out and redo them. Yes. And it's pretty invasive for what purpose?
Exactly.
And then if
they sag, there's always a thing where you can they have an surgery that does uplifts.
But it's without actually
hurting anything around you. It's
Yeah.
just an uplift from your muscle, and then they just kind of reconnect your muscle back, and but it's not hurting anything. So that's an
Yeah.
option if
And a lot of the implants will leak at some point.
yes.
And
Yes.
then your body, is trying to protect itself, so it encases them, and then you got to have surgery and it's just and then your
It's a
joints hurt
mess.
head to toe. It's just not worth it. And if some guys like you need bigger boobs, maybe you just need a different guy. It's just because
Exactly.
it's your health
Exactly.
and you're the one going through it. So,
Yeah, that's right.
there's that. When I was younger, I'd be like self-conscious about it. Now I'm like, whatever. Who the hell cares,
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be me like looking at you and not caring about you as a man and being like, you know what, you need to do this, this, and this. You should dress this way. You need to work on your gut. No,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, just don't do
Well,
it.
that's funny that you said that. Like one of my belly dancers in here, she is um always exercising. So she has like a six pack and, muscles and stuff like that. So her muscles are a little bit bigger than like your normal feminine muscles.
Yeah.
But that's what she likes, okay?
Yeah.
So
That's her
and
choice.
she looks good.
Mm-hmm.
She looks great. She was telling me about like some of her outfits that she was wearing, how they don't fit her up top. And she's like, well, what do you think? I was thinking about getting implants. And I'm like, no,
No.
don't do it. I mean, if you really want to do it, just do it. But I wouldn't recommend it.
No.
So,
I had a patient this last year. Something happened with her implant. It was partially deflated or empty or whatever, and it had somehow gotten under something, and it was becoming this really big issue. And it was a rare thing, but it does or can happen. And I'm just like, it's
sure.
just not worth that. I don't want to spend my time going to doctors, having surgery, recovering from surgery, and then
Right.
things are never right once you start disturbing stuff.
No,
You're
never.
not supposed to put that stuff in there.
That's right. It's
Just
not meant
like
to be there.
yourself the way you are.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, someone wrote my brain. Actually, that was a pretty common comment. There were a lot of people who said that about their brain. One person went into just basically saying, I think they felt like they had ADD or ADHD or something, that they were always all over the place and just couldn't keep it together mentally. So that's something you have to take up with a doctor and be
Yes.
diagnosed properly and see if you would benefit from any kind of medication or supplements that would help you with that if you didn't want to go the medication route.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And there's
Someone
also
wrote,
organization when it comes to ADHD and stuff like that. Once you get your life organized and you have like a routine that you go through, that kind
mm-hmm,
of settles all the craziness that's happening
in
up in your
your,
brain. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I've heard that helps a lot.
yeah. So it's worked there too. Someone wrote bad immunity. They've had the flu for over 3 weeks. They feel like they just keep getting knocked down,
Yeah,
and
vitamins.
the flu's been bad. Yeah, virus is a virus. It's going to do what it's going to do.
It has been, yes, absolutely. And we've had a lot of people in here like the past 2 weeks out because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I would suggest vitamins, vitamin C, zinc. Just, take them as you need them. Vitamin C, I think you can just take it every day anyway, as
Oh
normal.
yeah, you can take it
Yeah,
every day anyway. It's normal. Your body's only going to absorb so much of it, and then you pee the
correct.
rest out throughout the day. Zinc is scientifically proven to shorten the duration
The
of a
duration.
cold. So the minute you start feeling symptoms, you can, everyone's like, well, I get it in my multi. You don't get your full dose in your multi. I take extra zinc every day because I work in a medical facility.
Yeah.
And so I have a multi, but I take an extra every
Yeah, you
morning.
do because there's only so much in that multi.
Yeah, it's a small
So,
percentage of what you really need. So, your
and
multi
also,
is not the answer to it all.
no, and also there's a lot of tea concoctions that you can create. One of them that I created, and I told you about it, is because everybody was sick around here. I'm like, nope, I ain't getting sick around here. So I went and got ginger, fresh ginger from the store, and
Mm-hmm.
then I used a spoon to peel it. I cut a little bit up, put it in water. I put mint. I
Mm-hmm.
put a couple sticks of cinnamon and some lemon and honey, and I just let that thing boil until for like about 3 minutes. And then
Mm-hmm.
once that happens, then I would just drink that. And I drank it like every day once I found out all these people here were sick so that I didn't get sick. And I felt bad, but I didn't get the full blown.
Yeah.
So that it
So
works.
I'll take a tea sometimes and just make plain tea and use fresh ginger in it.
Yeah.
I've done that. However, everyone in my family has been sick, either with some kind of upper respiratory, even the baby at a week old had an upper
Yeah.
respiratory infection stuff. So Oziel had it, Milani had it, Xavier had it, Brooke had it. Everyone's been sick in my house. James has it this week. I've not had anything.
Yeah, knock on wood. Thank God.
Well, normally when everyone get the flu and stuff in this house, I don't generally get it. And
That's
that's
good.
just immunity. So,
Yeah.
whatever reason, it is what it is. And I hope it continues.
Yeah.
Someone wrote, and this was a common comment, and I'm going to assume they were women. My hip dips.
Hip dips.
Yeah, their hips dip. I'm not really sure what that means. That's my thing. It's like no one gave me a description of what that
Specifics.
meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't. So, I mean, I read it probably 10 times out of the
You mean
ones I read.
like your hips might hang low? Like,
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one for me to even
I
imagine
didn't
what it
know if
looks
you
like.
heard that. That's why I wrote it down because
Um,
I saw that regularly throughout, and I was like, no one said what that meant.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe a little more specifics, please, guys.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to fix that. So,
Yeah, I don't know how
or
to fix
even
that either.
suggest, or even
I
suggest anything.
No clue. I don't like that I'm getting more and more stiff as I age. Well, one thing I need to tell you is you got to keep moving.
Yes,
And the only way to keep your joints lubricated and going well in the right direction is you got to keep moving. And of course, good supplements, so you can take a fish oil or something like that. With that being said, you got to know what you're taking. A fish oil is a natural blood thinner. So if you take blood thinners, you cannot take a fish oil or
that is
St.
correct.
John's Roy or vitamin E, and there's others.
Right.
So you got to do your research. So, yeah.
And
So,
ask your doctors, ask your physicians,
yeah.
by no
But
means
go
are we
always.
physicians. We're just giving you advice because, we've come
We
across
are
it.
aging ourselves.
Yes. And we've come across it and we're just, providing things that have helped, for
Yeah.
ourselves. So,
And if you don't want to go to a doctor and be put on any medication, which for me personally is the last thing I would do, that's more of a desperate thing for me.
yeah.
If everything holistic is not working, but do your research and know what you're taking,
Yeah, there's a lot of homeopathic things that you can do before you even take those medications.
But if you're on any kind of medication and you're mixing supplements, they can interact. Remember, all
Correct.
drugs come from herbs.
Correct.
At one point or another, just now synthetically made and pumped
Yeah.
out by the thousands versus, waiting for the plant to grow. It's like,
Be waiting a long time.
Depending on how much you need.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, you can take turmeric, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
there are other avenues. Just do your research and know what you're mixing. And there are interaction charts you can look up online and punch in what you take and what you want to take, and it will tell you yes or no.
Yes.
So yeah, you got to know. Someone posted my scarred up legs and feet. So I'm imagining, I don't know if they had an injury or just from over years being outside and lots of bug bites sometimes leave all those poxy looking scars, marks. Yeah. So I don't know. You can see dermatologists. There's things you could probably do. Big cell turnover helps all scarring. So there are things you can do. Exfoliate. Yes, exfoliate your legs and feet as well.
I do that every single day.
I have a great tea tree scrub that I use on my legs and stuff.
Yeah, I use a loofah, and I've always used a loofah since I could remember.
Yeah.
And then I buy something like similar to you that has like a little scrubby balls in them. So
yeah. So there are things you can do to help minimize the appearance.
Yep.
I did write down my male parts.
Yes.
They didn't emphasize either way. Whatever. I don't know. My hairline. That's common for men and women, I think. As you age, things change. Hair doesn't grow like it used to.
Right.
like we may want it to. That also includes eyebrows, eyelashes, you know,
Everything.
whole kit and caboodle. And again, there are
Yes.
things you can do. I make my own kind of leave-in conditioner with witch hazel and some essential oils and some distilled water. I spray that on my hair every day. I use
Yeah,
organic
rosemary.
shampoo.
I've heard
Uh,
rosemary is very good too. You can boil it, and
yeah,
then once it's done, they put it in a spray bottle, and you can spray your hair with it too. I
you
heard
can.
that, helps
Mhm.
helps your hair to grow too a little bit.
Mhm.
But like it depends on you as a person, what you do. If you're on any medications that's
Mhm.
causing your hairline to do that, so you have to take all those things in consideration.
Consideration and genetics. Again, we can't change
Genetics, yes.
genetics.
No.
You just gotta do the best you can with what you are given, you
That's
know.
right. If you're gonna look like Uncle Fester, you're just gonna look like Uncle Fester. I'm sorry.
Also, castor oil and hemp oil not only are great
Yes.
moisturizers, they also help your hair grow naturally. And
Yes.
there are times where I put a towel on my pillow and I just coat my hair, scalp and all. It's the best conditioner. I mean, I have to wash it twice the next day to get it out, but my hair is shiny for days.
Hmm.
And there's no residue. But hemp oil, okay, and I just do I do hemp oil on my face twice a day anyway, so I just do it all.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's very good.
It's
Sometimes I'll do a mask like once every 2 weeks. I'll put a mask in my hair and do that. I also found that argan oil for me works
mhm.
well, rubbing your scalp. Don't forget, your scalp is like it's your skin too,
It
so it
is your
needs.
skin too.
Yes.
I have one of those little scrubby brushes for
Yes,
shampooing.
I do too.
I do
Yep.
that too because you got to
Yep.
clean, and sometimes I use a
A good massager.
clarifying shampoo with it,
Yes.
and yeah, with like tea tree or something, and it just
Yeah.
kind of tingles and stuff. So
Well, they
I
say
do,
you're supposed to use a clarifying shampoo once a week,
I do
just to take away any
the
impurities and stuff
residue.
like that. Yes,
And I
that you've
just
collected.
bought a different organic shampoo. Normally I buy one that has like some kind of like pomegranate in it or something like that. This one is totally scent free. And I tell you what, my hair this week has never been so soft.
Really? Oh, good. Good.
So that's what I will be sticking with. And I don't feel that residue. Certain ones I put on my hair
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can't do coconut oil. It's gross in my hair.
No, coconut oil is too much.
It's gross. We are
Yeah.
not friends. Everyone's like, use coconut oil. No,
No.
no.
Aloe, when you get the aloe and you break it in half, you can actually put it together like two palms, like you're
Mm-hmm.
clapping, and then just kind of rub it down your hairline, and that
Yep.
kind of nourishes your hair too.
But you can buy shampoo with it in there, and you can
Can.
get it down in there. So
Yeah.
there are things out there to help with all that stuff. Someone wrote, actually several people wrote, and again over 2,000 responses, so several could be 20, could be 100, I don't know.
Right.
My double chin.
Yes. Yeah, that's a big one for a lot of people actually.
I
So,
think so. Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
then
naturally in my family, you could be as skinny as a twig, but you still have that little tiny double chin no matter what.
yeah.
So like, my daughter's, thin and petite and everything like that, but she has what we have. And that's just a genetic thing that runs in our family. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Again, genetics. So someone wrote weak chin.
Weak chin. Okay, that means maybe like pushed in rather than it protruding
Yeah.
out outward a little bit.
Almost like looks like they don't have one, maybe is kind of how
Correct.
I took it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't know how you can fix that either. It definitely would not be worth a chin implant if they offer that. And nowadays I'm sure they do if they offer butt implants. So
Yes. Yes, they do.
more acne. I hate my real smile when I laugh.
Her real smile or his real smile when they laugh.
Hmm.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. Like you can't really change your smile. You were born with it. So,
I think anything that you are critical of yourself over, like real smiles, someone,
yeah.
one eye squints more than the other when I truly laugh. I have that, by the way.
Yeah.
Embrace it. You are you. You are not everyone else.
Absolutely. God
You
made you
know,
special.
you got to embrace it. Your genetics popped you out the way you are. You got to just.
Yeah, and I don't think too many people really quite pay attention to that. Probably is just something that they're focusing on because they
Correct.
don't
We're
like it, but
critical of
of
ourselves.
ourselves. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh, too many freckles. I've heard that before. But, if they get
Yeah.
together, you're going to have a great tan. And that's not making
Yes.
fun. That is not
Yes.
making fun. I had an instructor when I was 11. She was one of my scuba diver instructors. I had two when I was 11, Greg and Eileen. And she was really white and she had just a ton of freckles all over. And she said, one of these days, all the time I spend in the sun teaching diving, you have a great tan.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know. I think the right amount of freckles are actually pretty.
They are pretty actually. People are
Yeah.
actually doing them now. They're putting them like makeup. Like if you didn't have freckles, they would put them on with
Yeah.
makeup.
Yeah.
So embrace your freckles. Freckles are
Yeah.
awesome, I think.
Yeah. Again, we're critical of ourselves. So.
Yeah.
Again, my stomach, my chest, and the fact that my thighs touch. Well, my thighs touch too, and I'm
And
okay
so
with
do
it.
mine. Yeah, and I'm all right with it too. Exactly. I
I
mean,
think
do
that's
you
pretty
really need to see
normal.
between your thighs?
I think that's pretty normal. I don't,
Yeah.
but I don't really pay attention to people's thighs, so I don't know. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Someone wrote that their lungs are completely messed up from having COVID over 2 years ago. So I do know that if you had the bad case of COVID and you had any kind of issues prior, you could really have
Yeah, more
some
issues after that.
long-term
Yeah.
effects
Yeah.
and more issues. So I feel for those that do.
Yeah, definitely. Very hard. I'm
Virus.
sure they have a lot of respiratory problems, probably.
Well, viruses can wreak havoc on anyone that is autoimmune compromised.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
you can have the flu, you can have bronchitis, and it could be. I know someone who just right before Christmas, and I mean days before Christmas, lost their 30-some-year-old son to pneumonia. So,
Oh gosh.
unfortunately, and they live in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you don't, it's just not COVID. And that's what bothers me. Everyone's always COVID, COVID, COVID. It's like no, flu, pneumonia, bronchitis. They're seeing
Yeah,
a
there's
lot of,
other things.
there's other things. They're seeing a lot of strep in the hospital right now.
Oh, yes.
And that goes cardiac. So,
It does.
yeah. So, sorry to hear that. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's
COVID,
exactly what they're seeing, actually. There was
they
somebody who
are.
was saying in the emergency room, one of my belly dancers, actually, she is a emergency room nurse, and she says that she was, excuse me, she was seeing a lot of, like you said, strep,
There's a
a
lot of
lot of
strep.
the flu, and a
Hmm.
lot of enlarged hearts or
Yes.
fluid around the hearts.
Hearts. Yeah, there's a lot of that. That's
Yeah, it's weird. It's crazy.
yeah. So,
Crazy.
you're always better to just take care of yourself the best that you can.
That's it.
Someone just said their allergies. They have really bad allergies and they're just kind of over it and they suffer for months at a time.
Oh, I can imagine. Up here, you're talking about allergies. Whoa.
Oh,
Like
really?
when I go to Florida, I don't have any of that,
See,
but
another reason.
yes, see, when I'm up here, I have like my brother has a lot of allergies. My ex-boyfriend had a lot of allergies. Come, I want to say uh, April, May, come April and May, the weather starts kind of teetering towards spring. So once it starts getting to do that, the wind starts blowing, all these allergies start coming out, and they are miserable. When I
Yeah.
tell you miserable, it's horrible. The
Yeah.
sneezing, the constant mucus,
Yeah.
and they've done everything, and they take
Yeah.
allergy pills.
Yeah. Well,
So
here it's when same time of year, the pollen and stuff, and it's just raining pollen. Like my
yeah,
red truck has a yellow hue.
yes,
It's just covered. And I
yeah.
can wash it and it's covered the next day. I don't wash it. I just wait.
Yeah. Well, you have to
I'm
wait
sure
because it's
it's
not
not
over
good for
yet.
the paint, but I'm not washing it every day. So,
No.
I mean, it is what it is. And I can't control that, and I can't stand that time of year because that's when all the little worms come down out of my trees on those little webs, and I'm trying to get
Oh,
in my
yeah.
car without having a worm get in with me.
Yeah.
It's a battle.
Well, they want to take a ride. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
give them a ride. It is a
uh,
battle, but up here, allergies are crazy up here. Like,
yeah,
I know too many people that have them, so
yeah,
it's wild. It's
yeah.
wild.
I'm
And
sure
they
it
have a
is.
specialist, they go and they can inject you. Well, they test you first, obviously, to tell
Yeah,
you what you're tested, but most of the time everything comes back the same: mold, pollen, this,
yeah,
that, the other thing. So they just have this one injection like for everybody. You have to
yeah,
take it every week for I don't know how many months
yeah,
for it to even have an effect. So you
yeah,
really have to be dedicated,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. And you hope it works.
Yeah,
Doesn't always
exact.
work.
No, it doesn't. Exactly.
So, so,
Exactly.
someone posted, I have a constant nerve problem in my back. Soft touches such as wind, water, and rubbing cause me extreme pain.
Oh man.
I know people like that. Well, not if it's the same as that specifically, but they go and have their nerves burned, which I'm sure
I don't
that,
know. I don't know about that. That doesn't sound
um,
good.
no. So
No.
Mr. Bill, my old boss's husband, that's what he has done every so many months.
As have his nerves burned?
Goes to a place in Tampa, and they
Where do they
his back between
in
his
his back?
shoulders somewhere.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know
I don't
how they
know.
do it. I don't know anything about it. I know it sounds barbaric. That's all I know.
It does.
But
I don't know.
apparently,
I've never heard about it.
you
That's a
have to
new one
Google
for
it.
me.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I will have to Google it. Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, I don't know if that can be something that would help you. Someone wrote the tendency to have seizures. Well, I hate to hear that. That's obviously some kind of condition.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
Either
you know,
epilepsy or
I
some
was gonna
kind of,
say epilepsy
yeah.
or something. Yeah. So, yeah, sorry to hear about that. That's another thing I'm grateful I do not have. Someone simply wrote my knees. So I know knees aren't the prettiest part of the body,
No, they're
but I
not.
don't know what's going on with your knees. I have no idea how to respond to that. Did they just look ugly to you?
Are they big? Are they
Are
small?
they got
Are they darker
extra
than the rest of your
rest of your
body?
body?
I've heard of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that. So
Yeah.
I don't
There's
know.
scrubs for that. You can use
Yeah.
scrubs for the darker parts of your body. So
Just dried
you
skin
try
and stuff
that.
that you need to
Mhm.
exfoliate. It's good for
And
you.
then make sure you lotion up too after you
Yeah.
exfoliate so your skin gets nourished.
Bad teeth. That was another common answer. So I don't know if they just can't afford dental care or they just always said later, 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 which I was guilty of for many years. So
Yeah.
now, I get my teeth cleaned 3 times a year, but I'm making up for it.
Yeah. My
But yeah,
we never went to the dentist when we were younger, so it was only in my older years when after I had my daughter that I started going regularly to the
yeah,
dentist, to get the cleaning done and get all of that stuff done.
yeah.
Knock on wood, I haven't had any cavities or anything like that in some time, so we're gonna try to keep it that way.
Right.
Um,
I work
but
hard at that. I work hard at that. Yeah.
yeah, but there's some people, that have diseases and stuff like that that should go, and visit the dentist. But I mean, I hope, they can go to the dentist and maybe try to see if they can um, talk about some solutions for that, for the
Yeah. I
teeth.
mean,
And
it's,
some people it's genetics, some people have bad gums because it's just a genetic thing. Or some people just have bad teeth because that's just something that they, um, I guess, got from lack of
well, it's
taking
in your
care of them.
saliva. I have fast tartar buildup, which is why I go 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's in your saliva is what the dentist tells me. It's just one of those things. It's genetics. It's in your saliva.
Hmm.
And again, you got to go to the dentist and you got to maintain it. And,
Yes.
it's work. It's all work. Anything you want to maintain, make better, improve is work. There is no magic wand. There is no magic pill.
Right.
It's nice to think there is, but if you don't do the work physically and mentally,
Yeah, it's never going to get, you're never going to get the accomplished outcome that you want.
yeah. Yeah.
And it seems, you're reading these off to me. It seems as though some of these items that they dislike about their body or dislike about within them are things that are out of their control. Like it's not something that, not all of them, some of them are within, their control, but like, for example, the nerves,
Yeah.
the aging.
Yeah.
Those are things that are out of your control. I mean, they're
So, it's funny because I do take a lot of supplements every day. It's how I feel good. And I started the supplements well over 10 years ago to get off depression meds. I didn't want to be on pharmaceuticals, and it actually caused me to panic. So now I get the comment, well, do you expect to live to be 100? Well, no, that's really kind of an asinine thing to say. I
yeah.
don't know if it's out of jealousy or why would you say that? What is the point of that? The purpose
No,
of that comment?
yeah, I
I want to take care of what I have and maintain it the best that I can for as long as I can, so I can enjoy everything for as long as I can. There are
yeah,
going to
for
be things,
yourself.
I know it's not a cure-all end-all. You're not
Mm,
going to take vitamin C and not necessarily get the flu. It
right.
doesn't work that way. You've been exposed, it's been incubating. Such is life.
Right.
That's why you have
Again,
an
out of
immune
your
system.
control.
Out
Yeah.
of your control.
Yeah.
It's part of your, that's why you have an immune system.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work that way. Or everyone who started having symptoms of the flu or whatever would be getting in line for extra vitamin C.
Exactly.
There,
If
I
there was
understand.
what did they say? A cure for all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody would
And
be in line for it.
you can't be against science when you use science for certain things every day,
Correct. Correct.
no matter what your beliefs are.
Yeah.
So, the
So
minute you're
you do
diagnosed
what's
with
best for
cancer,
you.
you're running to the oncologist to get chemo or radiation. So you're using science. So,
Right.
you have to do what's best for you. So once you're exposed to any virus, you're either going to get it or your system has an immunity to it and you're not going to get it. But you could be
Right.
a carrier of it and not get it. You
Right.
have no control. Your body's going to absorb only so much of whatever it is you're taking to help you, and you hope it helps. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're going to get it, then your body you're going to get it.
Yeah, no
So,
matter what. Yeah, those things
yeah,
are out of your control. But like you said, I mean, you do what's best for you, whatever works for you. If it
yeah,
makes you happy, then go for it. That's it.
yeah. Someone wrote
Self-care.
yeah, but it's
Yeah,
preventative. I mean,
self-care. Yeah.
and it's not even preventative. You can only do so much for yourself.
Yes.
And then what nature's going to do is going to take its course,
That's right. And you can't stop it
and you
sometimes.
can't
Sometimes
stop
you
it.
can, sometimes you can't. So,
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you have to get sick sometime in your life.
yeah, that's right.
Um, someone wrote my back because it's lopsided and hurts scoliosis.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
another medical issue. So,
nothing you can do about it. I mean, to a certain degree, there is that
there is
surgery.
there's the
Hmm.
surgery, and then there's those body casts that they wear and things like that. So,
Hmm.
no. I'm
You
sorry,
know,
dude. I'm sorry,
yeah.
ladies. Yeah.
The lady who waxes my legs, her daughter, a year ago had the scoliosis surgery.
Ah, okay. And how
She
did it
was
go for her?
13, 14. She's good.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, she's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So that's an
um,
option.
yeah, it's an option if you meet the criteria, because that's pretty drastic.
It is. Yeah.
That's
It's
your
a lot.
that's
It's
your
a big
spine.
surgery.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big surgery. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's a bit drastic. Yeah. So that's basically it. There were comments, and I don't really want to discuss them because I don't know enough about them. I don't have that thought for myself.
Yeah.
There were people who commented they felt they were in the wrong body. So if they were male, they wanted to be female. If they were female, they wanted to be male. Well, I've never wanted to be anybody but me. So I'm not even going there. There's a lot
Yeah.
of controversy over that. I do not want to be involved in that. I have my own
Sure.
thoughts and feelings on that stuff, and it's just not doing it. So,
Right.
yeah. So there were some comments of that. A lot of just stomach issues and not tall enough. And the one that touched me the most was that girl's that was long.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah,
That's the main one, I think.
yeah, it just I do hope oh, she did respond. I'd love to
Oh,
say that it will solve all my problems, but I don't think it will. I'm actually trying very hard with CBT. Um,
CBT.
yeah, I think it might be a typo. I may not be the best candidate, or this may be the worst day. I'm not sure. I regularly feel hopeless and wonder why I've started this, and then remember how much pain I'm in and how many doctors have told me my problem is my weight. Am I really trying to get to my ideal weight just to prove these assholes wrong so I can
Mm.
just exit all of this? I mean, sometimes I feel that way. 5 doctors have told me my attitude and my weight is the problem. When am I normal enough to be treated like a human being? Thanks for
Yeah.
listening. I've been really wild road and nearly completely on my own. I don't divulge my innermost feelings to my friends, but I'm sure they could hazard a guess.
Well, and again, we're gonna, therapy is not gonna solve all your problems. No, and I agree with her on that. However, it does assist in moving forward and maybe possibly thinking in a more positive direction rather than focusing on what is the worst scenario about yourself. Um, and they will teach you things that will help you to focus on the positive rather than focusing on the negative. Um, and I mean, I'm so sorry that you feel that way. I don't know how else to, to help in that situation. But I sure hope that you find the help that you need. And please try to go to therapy, maybe find somebody that you like, that you're more comfortable with to talk about your issues, about your problems. But try to focus on the positive rather than the negative, because the negative is always going to keep you down. It's not going to move you forward. It's just going to keep you back.
Also, I'm wondering too, depending how big she was, for how long, how much permanent damage that's done.
As far as her skin or the
Not just her
thinking.
skin, thinking.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously the skin's a thing. But the thinking and seeing herself that way for so long. But also if she just doesn't feel good all over, that weight for so many years. It's like when you have a back problem and you're having sciatica, and once you hit that 8 or 9 month mark, you can have permanent damage.
Right.
So I wonder if carrying however many pounds more and extra skin all over everywhere, when she said that, I'm assuming it's a great deal of weight.
Oh, I'm
I'm not
sure.
assuming it's not 50, 60 pounds. I'm assuming it's well over 100.
Well, I'm
Um,
sure. I mean, that must not feel good at all to have to carry that
so
weight around either.
if she's struggled the majority of her life, yes, that affects all your joints and stuff. So how much of it's now permanent? She's going to have to deal with fixing other things too, which won't make her feel good about the work she's done.
Right. Right. I mean, you've accomplished a lot. I mean, just to get to where you are right now, to lose the weight, it's very difficult to lose weight. And I know that, but from, you know, personal things.
It
So
is.
it's a lot of work to lose weight, and um, I think it's what do they call that, body morphic whatever syndrome, where you're always constantly looking at yourself in such a terrible way.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, I don't know. I mean, the only other thing that I always come back to is the therapy. There's got to be some underlying issue, some kind of trauma that maybe might
Well,
have occurred because of her weight, because of her heaviness, or
she
something in her
mentions
childhood.
having the depression. So when you're depressed, depending on how depressed you are, you don't like yourself at all.
No, of course not.
So,
I've been there.
oh, I've been there. So I don't know if I don't know when she put on the weight. She said as a young adult, she was, as a kid, she was more something to look at. I'm not really sure how to take that. And I don't know when she started putting on the weight. And then I'm sure, certain family members or friends may be like, you're putting on. Do you think you want to eat that? Should you eat that? Comments like that have
Right.
a long-term
Effect.
effect. I have a friend whose mother is pear-shaped, and in high school got rid of her bed, got her a chair that folded out to a bed so she could put a treadmill in her room. Like all this happened while she was at school. She came home to this.
What?
And she's pear-shaped just like you.
Oh
So
my
maybe you
gosh.
should have put the treadmill in your room.
In your
I mean,
room.
I called her and she was telling me she was crying.
Oh my
I
God.
felt so bad. I felt so bad. Her
I'm,
mom is pretty much, I have this very expensive couch in this front room. You can't sit on it. You can't sit on these
oh,
chairs because they're, yeah.
she has
Um,
those one of those living rooms that nobody
yeah,
enters. Yeah.
yeah. Can't touch anything in there. I think I told you we would go there and move things like an inch.
Yes. Yes. Just to see if she
Just
notices.
because.
Right. Well, I'm grateful. That's one thing that my mother has never done to me, as far as telling me about my body or my body shape, or if I'm gaining weight, or if I'm losing weight, or if anything, just anything in general. She would always tell me, that if I, as a bigger person, if I dressed up or if I put makeup on and, made myself look, super duper nice or going out somewhere, she would always say, "Oh, you look so beautiful today," but she would never put me down for my weight. Although I will say in our culture,
Yeah.
okay, there's a lot of women who do plastic surgery on their face, either to take their cheeks and make them like they're sucked in. It's called the
Hmm.
buccal. They take out the buccal something fat in there, so they could look like that. I don't know.
Oh
You guys
God,
can't
I
see me, but it's
hated that
like
fish
fish face.
look. Oh
Yes.
my God, it was doing the fish face. I'm like, oh my God, no one's original anymore.
No.
You're
And
doing what everyone else does, and you all look ridiculous. I'm sorry.
right. And the first thing that they would say, and I've said this before, I think, on here, when we used to live in Florida and we used to come up here to visit my aunts and stuff, first thing they would do and look at you, oh, look at you, you gained weight.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, if I was that kind of a person that I put it in my head, it would
yeah,
have stuck with me. I'm not that
yeah.
kind of person. I could just kind of be like, okay, whatever, I don't care. I'm never going to
My
see you after I
my
leave up
mom
from my vacations.
my mom was kind of the opposite. She'd be like, "Oh, you got a great little figure. You should show it off." And I'd just be like, "Whatever."
Yeah.
Going out in my tomboy clothes. I'm gonna go jump off the seawall and walk in the mud with the boys. I'll see you later.
Right.
That's exactly what I go do. Whatever, lady.
That's funny, right?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not that sissy girl who I will dress up for the occasion when I need to, and I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But it is not my first choice.
Yeah, it's a big thing in the Arabic culture. It's a big thing that you always look presentable no matter what.
Yeah.
You always, like when I was in Lebanon, I was visiting Lebanon back in 2004,
Yeah.
right? So every time we would get up or whatever, let's say if I didn't want to put makeup on that day or whatever, my mom would be like, go put some makeup on or go do this. Like, why? Why do I have to do all that? Like, for
Yeah.
who? Who am I trying to impress?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? And she's like, just go do it. Go get dressed. Go put something nice on. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God, okay. It's good if you like that.
Yeah.
Okay? If you like to do that, more power to you. But I don't feel that it's a necessity to do that. Like
No.
nowadays, I don't even put makeup on hardly ever.
Yeah.
And I think I'm fine. I don't care. So,
You are fine. I rather get that little bit extra sleep than it takes me to get up and actually do my hair like I used to or do the makeup.
yes, you're right.
And I cannot wear mascara to save my life, so it doesn't matter. It
Yeah,
makes me want to rip my eyes out of my head no matter what I
yeah,
use. I bought it from the health food store. I bought it from all over. Try this. No, I'm not trying it. I'm done. It's not
right,
worth it. I don't care.
right. Yeah.
You know.
There's other things that you could be doing, instead of worrying about something like that. Like
You
it's
know.
so, to me, it's so superficial. It's so
I think it
superficial.
is too, and there are those who like it, and that's fine for them. But I am not that person. I am a jeans, t-shirt, flip-flop person, and what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. I
know.
mean, I love to dress up and I have clothes to dress up and I wouldn't mind doing it every day, but I don't feel that it's realistic. So,
It's not, and where am I going to dress up? I mean, I seldom go to Publix. I mean, I try to stock up on everything at Costco, and that's you're in there for a battle when you go to
oh
Costco.
my
So,
gosh, you're telling me.
you got to go big or go home.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
like, you go in, you're coming out $500 short when you come out. That's what I do because I'm not going back anytime soon, and I make the least
No,
amount of trips to Publix as possible. So,
exactly.
I don't go anywhere. I work. That's a uniform. I when I go work out, I wear that, and I come home. And if I go somewhere nice or something, I well dress up for an event or occasion. I've done it a few times this last year. Our photos, my
Right?
niece's wedding, you know. But other than that, I just, where am I going? You dress up
Yeah,
and go to the
that's
bar. I'm not gonna dress up and go to the bar. Then the guys think that I want to be picked up, and I don't want to
and
be picked up by just any guy at a bar ever.
ever, never ever.
Ever. Well, I
That's the
just,
other thing. Who are you attracting?
yeah, I just,
So
no,
it's difficult,
no.
but if you love it, like we said before, more power to you. So
Yeah, it's just not who I am. I just have
no.
never been that girl that you could. I told you, growing up, I'd wear that dress that one day a year for photos at school for my mom to make her happy. But that was
Right,
it. I'm
right.
like, that's it.
Yeah, we're
It's just like,
done.
yeah,
We're done.
yeah. I was always like, that's it. You get that
Yeah.
photo and that's it.
Yeah.
That dress is back up in the closet. We're done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. It's always been more fun to be adventurous.
It is. Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't find great joy in doing all that poofy prepping stuff. I just don't. Whatever you call it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you call it.
Fluffing yourself up.
And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to insult anyone who does it. It's just not
No,
for
that's just your
me.
preference.
That's
Yeah.
just not my preference. Again, I go to Publix once in a while.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
for me, I would love to do it. Like, I would love to get up and put my makeup on and do my hair and get dressed nice and go somewhere and do this, but I don't have time for that.
well, you saw what I wore to my birthday dinner. I wore that little
Yeah.
dress.
Yeah,
And
but
what did
that's
I have
cute.
on my feet?
It was cute though.
It was cute, wasn't it? It was cute. It
Yeah,
worked
it
out. What
was
did I have
cute.
on my feet?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had white sneakers.
White sneakers. Yeah.
Slip on Olakais.
Yeah. But it worked.
It did because the dress was blue and white. It was just cute and
Right.
casual and beachy, and that's kind of just what I went
Ab-
for. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, but for the women out there that struggle with their self-image when they look at themselves in the mirror, the work that you do, you should be proud of the work that you do.
You should be. It took a lot of
And
effort to do it.
I have guy friends that joke all the time about, oh, you should do this or you should do that, like how to improve yourself as a female. And I'm just like, who made you
The
in
boss.
charge of anything with your big old beer gut?
Right.
I need you not to talk.
Exactly. Exactly.
These are the guys, and I just, that lit girl, woman, female that lost all that weight and did all that work to have that extra skin, I know that extra skin is probably like the final reminder of
Yes.
what you were. And when you look at that in the mirror, maybe she still sees herself as fat because of all that extra skin. I don't
Right.
know. And I know the surgery is expensive. It's also not healthy.
Right. And I think maybe if they propose some kind of surgery that would, possibly help her in some kind of way. I know it's expensive, but people are out there that they can do things pro bono and they can help you out if you talk to them, you
Yeah,
know?
and I don't know why it wouldn't be considered medically necessary because I know if you have too much extra skin that's unhealthy too.
Well,
And
exactly.
and so
Insurance will cover that.
I don't know what point it is that insurance will or not. And then of course what kind of plan you have that gives you those benefits. But
Correct.
first and foremost, you need to look at yourself in the mirror and be proud of the work you did.
You should. Kudos to you. Like, that's
Yeah,
a lot of work that you did. So you should
because
be very happy.
me taking off that 22 pounds or whatever, that wasn't easy at the start. What really jumpstarted that for me was stress and anxiety in my life and what was going on in my house.
Right.
When I'm stressed, I am the opposite of a stress eater. I don't eat. I can't
Yeah.
eat. I look at a food commercial and I just want to vomit. I can't do it. So that really jump started it for me. And then after that, I was like, I made it easier for me to maintain for whatever reason. It wasn't the right way to do it. It wasn't intentional.
Right.
It was circumstances out of my control. It usually is. And yeah, it is what it is. But I've been able to, what came off, I have kept off and maintained off, and I feel better for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And that's good.
and is my stomach completely flat? No, but Danielle made me do 5-minute abs today. So, we'll see how that goes.
We never, yes, yeah. In the future,
Yeah.
future stomach lookout.
If I get an actual legit six pack, everyone's going to see it. I'm just kidding. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. I'm not that way. I really am not.
Post it on Facebook. No.
No.
No,
Oh,
I'm
good
just kidding.
God, no.
That's
Oh, God,
totally
no.
not. Yeah.
Not me. No. I know
No.
that people that do. No, thank you.
Yes. No, thank you. Exactly.
No, thank
Well,
you.
society has put us in a world that at times people are very superficial. And unfortunately, we have to deal with the remnants of that. And it's not about how big you are, how small you are, how tall you are, how short you are. It's about how good you feel for yourself and
Yeah.
within yourself.
Hmm.
And that's most important. And nobody in this world is to come around to judge you because they're not the judge of anybody,
No, they're
you
not in
know?
charge.
No, they're not in charge. And
You
whatever
know what
you
they
do
say
for
about
yourself,
opinions.
absolutely.
Everyone has one, just like a butthole.
A
So,
butthole, yeah.
there you go.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, um, you have to be happy with yourself. And I truly don't care what the majority of the world thinks.
Oh no,
First of all, the
I've come
majority of
to
the
that.
world does not know me. So there's that. you know?
Yeah.
So,
Well,
you
I
just have
had to come to know that because, yeah, I had to come to realize that, I don't have to dress a certain way to appease other people,
no.
and I was brought up that way. I was brought up that you dress for people, you know.
Oh, well, like I
Yes.
told you, and I told my mom, you get one picture a year. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. So
I was
I
laying the
just,
law down at a very young age
at a
because I
very
gave you
young
that.
age, you're done. I'm going to play with the boys. Bye, Ma.
Yeah, gotta go get in the mud. See you later.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I, in my 30s, I realized that, that I don't have to put on a persona that is not me. So I learned to be myself.
Yeah.
And I'm a much happier person like that because I am myself. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's something to be said for that when you learn that about yourself and you don't care.
Yeah.
And it's not that you don't care. It
No.
sounds like you're harsh or cold-hearted or something. We care to a degree. I care about what I think and how I feel. And like if Pascal looks at me and is like, that makes you look god awful, I would like her to tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it has to come from like you.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
long-term relationships and things like that, that you
People
feel
of value in
comfortable.
your life.
Exactly, exactly. And you know that they're not saying anything because they hate you or
No.
because they want to put you down in any kind
Yeah.
of way.
It's
Yeah,
because they care
correct.
and they don't want you to look ridiculous out in public.
Correct. Yes. Don't wear that bag. No. Mm-mm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
First world
But always,
problems.
always love yourself.
Be
Before
true to
you
yourself.
be true to yourself. Take care of yourself,
Yeah.
you know? Be happy within
And
you.
it's always baby steps. Don't overwhelm yourself with trying to change everything that you don't like or want to tweak or improve about yourself all at once. Pick something small, simple, and easy and start with that and work on that. And once that's accomplished and you're comfortable and good with it, move to the next one.
There you
It's
go.
easier and it becomes natural, and then you don't feel like you're working.
Exactly. And then it becomes part of your life.
It's your routine,
Once
and it's a
it's your
healthy
routine.
habit.
It is. Yeah, building healthy habits. Yeah.
No, and that's
But that
work.
was a
So,
great topic though, and it was I'm
yeah.
glad to hear that you had all these people actually comment.
Oh,
So that was
yeah.
crazy.
It
But we
was.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a lot of comments, and I didn't even touch on a quarter of them. There's just no way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it killed my Apple Watch. It just kept chiming. I
Oh,
had to
I
shut off the
bet.
notifications. I have an old Apple Watch. I had the first one they ever made, and so it's not a youngin. It's from 2015, and
Yeah.
I love it. I'm sentimental, and I was like, you should upgrade. Why? It works fine,
Right.
and the battery never dies in it until that day. And but when I say died, it died like at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. It wasn't like
Yeah.
in the middle of the day, but it had chimed all day long while I was at work. It was just continuous
Yeah.
notifications. And I woke up to over 1,000 of them
Wow.
to begin with. And I had over 2,000 responses.
That's great though. That's great.
And it just was insane. And I appreciate the feedback. I truly do. I'm sorry that I cannot respond or like each comment. I'd still be there.
No, but I think you touched base on the things that we most all of us have in common, and
Mhm,
some of the things that people maybe may not have been aware of. Like for example, the hanging skin, from the
mhm.
girl, um, and things that are out of our control. I mean, we do the best that we can with them. That's it. That's all
You
that
know
you can
what
do.
bothers me about that girl is like she's not enjoying life.
Yeah.
She obviously had a weight issue. She worked hard to get it under control and to lose a lot of weight. And
She's still not enjoying it.
she's not enjoying life. And
Yeah.
life is short and you are only here one time. And there are things we all sacrifice for a certain amount of time.
Yes.
And then we pull our heads out of our butts and we get it fixed. But
Right. Exactly.
but on a serious note, life is short, and I cannot imagine not enjoying the adventures that I enjoy. And I don't nearly take enough adventures, I feel. The reason I sent you that cruise ship is I was going to be like, we should look at the dates and pricing.
Yes, I'm down. I love that thing.
That
I
looks
definitely.
amazing, and it's in Miami, so we could go down the day before,
Hmm.
eat some
I
good
like.
food, stay the night, get up and go to the ship.
I'm down. Just let me know when. We'll do it.
So, yeah, because I've been dying to take a cruise. But yeah, so life's too short not to enjoy.
Yeah,
And
you have to
so
enjoy
there
your life.
are certain things we cannot change about ourselves. So you have to embrace them and work the best way you can with them, with whatever God gave you.
That's right.
And just do the best you can and not always look at it as this huge negative thing. I mean, some of those
Exactly.
things they're not worth being even on the negative list.
No, not at all. I
Um,
mean, I found
yeah.
in the past, I want to say 5 years, 6 years, that to me nothing is worth just being miserable over all the time.
No,
You
I
know,
mean, when
it's
women
it's
talk
not.
about I need bigger boobs, really? Well, you don't have scoliosis, you don't have cancer,
Exactly.
you don't have extra hanging skin that makes you feel horrible about the fact that you lost all the weight that made you feel horrible to begin with, and you just feel like there's
Exactly.
no way out of that. I mean,
Yeah.
so you got to look at like this is what it is and
Yes.
embrace it, and that doesn't change who you are on the inside. So,
Yep. And if you need therapy,
Be
go
you.
use it. That's why it's
Yeah.
out there. And we thank each and every one of you for all the comments that you gave us on this topic. Next week, we're going to have a special guest come on in and speak about health topics. So looking forward to that. And we appreciate each and every one of you, like we said before. And please tune in for our next episode. And I'll leave it to you to let them know where we are.
We are kind of all over the place some days. So we're on Spotify, Amazon.
I know that.
All right. Samsung Podcast Index, Listen Notes, Apple Podcasts, Google, Pandora, TuneIn, iHeart, and Deezer.
All right. Awesome. Thanks,
Okay.
guys.
Yes, and it's only 2:32, up to 2:24 a.m.
We did it.
We got it done. We got
Yes,
it
we did.
done, my dear
All right.
friends. So it's good seeing you as always, and you have a wonderful rest of your morning and get some sleep.
Oh, I'm planning on it. I got to get up at 8 o'clock and be back in here. So
Oh,
yes, it's okay. I can do it.
yes, you can. You do it every
Yes,
day.
yes. It's been my
Kudos to
pleasure as
you.
always.
Always.
Yes.
Good
See you
night.
next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.